a sniper, and then got out of that, became a personal trainer. I was a PT for a while, and then I was like, I'll open a gym. I get real bored of like easy shit. I was pretty good at selling. I wasn't like refined, but I was brutal enough, right?
Just natural talent.
And I had the ability to be really awkward and mean to people. So like that's a good like default state, right? My biggest frustration was the dialing side.
It's gonna be interesting, and if you stay on that, you're gonna be able to continue building in that one lane.
Yeah, selling a $2,000 fitness deal is a skill. Selling a $25,000 business coaching program that has like an ROI of like $1 million is like, it's a fucking no-brainer.
Right.
Sales Sniper kept growing, 7th level kept growing. There was at one point we were doing, between the two of them, $5 million a month.
I got to put a freaking blindfold on and I recruited a bunch of my high school buddies, brought them all into the team.
I just ran all the math, and it was like at more than 32 million a year, that business stopped making sense to me, right? Because it was scale for no reason.
The optics and the analysis and being able, like with AI, there's so much stuff you can do with it now. See how official that was?
That was super official.
How do you feel?
I feel good.
Okay.
Nervous, a little erect.
Me too. It's the first thing I thought about when I sat down.
Exactly.
All right, so we could start with tap water, frogs.
Well, it turns them gay. Trans, actually.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
I'm here for it.
Well, today, guys, we got Matt Ryder. I don't know where this is going to go, and we can go in many different ways, but I don't know if you remember, we did one of these.
Yes.
In your
Florida.
hotel room.
Yeah.
And I don't think the audio captured anything that we talked about.
It was bad audio.
Okay, yep.
Yeah, it was there, but it was bad.
Well,
but it was good enough to where I was like, you know what? Fuck you people. There's some good information in there.
Yeah, we just chop
Send
it
it
up.
out. Yeah, this seems much more professional.
Definitely.
Which makes sense.
Yeah, so we can talk and it'll all get captured. Everything.
Exactly, I'm here for
All right, so I met you in Paris.
Yeah.
For anybody who doesn't know who you are, which anybody that's gonna be watching this, higher ticket, B2B, definitely not early stage, just because I don't know any of these people. This is all I've done. So a little bit of your background. I have a big gap of knowledge up until I met you in Paris.
Okay.
And
That's a good 40
recent
years, so we got
frequency.
some time.
Yeah. So if you could just kind of, one, I know your background is not business early, right? You're in the military. And then what did you first get into out of the military? Let's start there and go quickly, and then we can get into the...
As a sniper, and then got out of that, became a personal trainer. And then was a PT for a while, and then I was like, I'll open a gym.
You were a personal trainer?
Yeah, man.
Dude,
yeah.
I can see it.
Yeah.
I can see it.
And then opened up a gym, and then I opened up, with a partner, we ended up opening up like 18 of them.
Okay.
Right? Gyms are horrible business models, they're super tough, but they teach you a lot, you know? And then I used to open up a lot of the gyms, and I was like a fractional owner of like a bunch of them, right? And then I had a couple that were just mine.
Okay.
And so I would kind of go around, and like no one really wanted to do the job of like opening them, so I was like, well, fuck it, I'll do it. And so I was having to sell a lot. And I was just 8 hours a day, 5 to 6 days a week, just outbounding leads. And we had like crazy targets because we didn't know any better. We had like a 40% lead to sale KPI.
When was this? Like early?
This was like sort of 2012. I opened up my first gym.
Okay.
Right? And then I got out 2018.
Yeah.
Right? And then from there, I was like, I had like no money. I like walked away from it because I was like super unhappy. There's a theme about that. And then sort of started this like Fitness Sales Sniper was called, where it was like, I'll do sales for your gym. And it was kind of around the same time that Alex was doing gym launch. And so I ended up doing the sales for tons of the gym launch people.
Interesting.
And so I was like myself, I built up like 7 gyms. I was doing it all myself. That started to go well. Then I started getting people under me and like started making like an agency of it. I didn't know there was things called sales agencies. I was just kind of vibing it out.
And this is all in Australia?
No, it was all over the world though.
Okay.
Like the people were everywhere.
Okay.
Right, lots in the UK, lots in the States and Australia. Then from there, like this guy who ran a marketing company for gyms, who I was doing the sales for a lot of his clients. He goes, hey man, do you want to try doing like my sales? And I was like, yeah, his name's Riley. And I go, yeah, sure, mate. Fuck, I can sell gym owners, like whatever. I'd never sold anything but fitness. And he goes, yeah, it's a $7,500 offer. And he goes, what do you want in commission? I was like, I don't know, like fucking $300, right? Because like I was used to getting like 25, plus like a $300K, like plus like a $300 base, right?
Right.
You know, I was doing like, and so he was like, oh, I'll give you 400. And I was like, fucking, I remember calling my friend going, this fucking retard. He's gonna give me $400 to close a deal. I was like, this is incredible. And
all
so I took the first 16 sales calls, I closed 15 of them. And I was like, okay,
I could do this.
This is good. And then from there it was like, oh, okay, I got like, started getting hit with like Taylor Welch's ads for like high ticket sales. And I was like, oh, interesting. I didn't know what this thing was. And then, but I've been in sales for so long, like by that point, I was pretty good at selling. I wasn't like refined, but I was brutal enough, right?
Just natural talent?
No, it was just more like, I just done it a lot. And so through the process of like, when you're gonna do something a lot, you might as well try and figure it out.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't say I was good, but I was effective, right? I was an effective salesperson.
Sure.
And I had the ability to be really awkward and mean to people. So like that's a good like default state, right?
Awkward and mean.
Yeah.
I mean, but it fits.
Yeah.
If it's coming from somebody else,
yeah,
it could.
Because you can soften that, and that's a better rep, right?
Sure.
It's harder to make someone like aggressive. And I don't mean it like the wrong way, but like, you know, really forthright. It's hard to make someone do that.
Right.
But if someone is that, you can soften them enough to where it's a really good mix, right?
Sure.
And then from there, like this business coach ran an ad, and it was like 30K sale, $2,000 commission, like upfront, right? It was like 30K for the year, but you got paid upfront. I was like, hell yeah. And so I did the interview. This guy just ghosted me. And so he ghosted me, and I hounded him. I was like, hey man, how much does it cost you to get somebody on a sales call? He said $400. I said, I'll give you $400 every time I don't close someone.
And you were getting paid. This was the first high ticket that you had ran into?
Yeah, it was technically the second, right?
Right.
Because like I'd done I was doing the marketing one. I was still doing that. And I was doing really well.
Yeah.
But I was like, fuck, this is like $2,000 a sale. Like this is crazy money, right?
Yeah.
And so, man, I hounded him, and he was like, all right, I mean, that's a no-brainer. So I came on, there's 4 of us were hired. It was established offer. They're like, one of you will get the job. And I was like, I mean, crush everyone. I made 6 deals in the first week, made $12,000 commission, fired every gym that day.
That was the
like,
transition.
I'm out, you're all fired, bye. Like, and then I like got rid of all the reps, got rid of everybody, and then like became like high ticket.
Yeah.
And did that for like a while, just sort of like by myself.
So you went basically from the gyms to sales to the high ticket offer that where you're like, all right, I'm done with this stuff.
Yeah. And then started Sales Sniper because I was such an effective rep. I was having people just come to me. Hey, do you want to sell? 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 And then I was doing this like daily video on YouTube.
That's what I was going to ask.
On Facebook,
like,
sorry. I was like, just about shit that I see, because I was like older than a lot of the reps, like I was in like my, say, mid-30s, and I'd been a sales rep for like pretty much full time, because in the gym game, I was full-time sales, right?
Yeah.
So I've been in sales full time, and like high ticket was so easy, because there's an ROI. Like I'm used to banging fitness deals.
Right.
Like selling a $2,000 fitness deal is a skill. Selling a $25,000 business coaching program that has like an ROI of like $1 million is like, it's a fucking no-brainer.
Right. And
so as I got better and better, I ended up being like a $100K a month earner in commissions. And
this is 20.
This is like 2020.
Okay.
Right. By this point, probably 2019 to 2020.
Okay.
And then sort of had so many reps wanting to learn from me that I was like, hey, well, like come, I got this offer, and I would go in, I would start the offer, and then I would replace myself with somebody.
Right.
Start an offer, replace myself. And that's where Sales Sniper came from.
Interesting.
And then I started growing that, and then we grew that over the course of the first 2 years. We went from 0 to like 2 million a month.
Interesting.
No ads, no nothing.
Yeah.
It was just all like that. We had like 150 staff. And it was around that time when I was about $1 million a month that I got sales training from Jeremy Miner. Actually, it's probably less, probably like 500 anyway, but whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
I got sales training from Jeremy Miner, and then he brought me in. 7th level was doing like 20 grand a month at that point.
Yeah.
Like that, and it had lost 400K the year before.
Right.
And I was like, hey, I'll be the sales guy. There was a marketing and ops chick in there, and I was like, beat it, I got this. And I just farmed everything myself. Like the first $1 million in sales that company did, it was just me farming shit, right? To get enough money because I was given equity, right? So I was like, all right, I'll do the thing. I used Sales Sniper's infrastructure to kind of like, not float financially, but like provide all the infrastructure.
The foundation to be able to, yeah.
And then, Sales Sniper kept growing, 7th level kept growing. There was at one point we were doing, between the two of them, $5 million a month.
Yeah.
Which is pretty wild. And then I exited 7th level at the end of 23, beginning 24.
And that's
I just wasn't happy there anymore.
That's right when I started meeting you.
Yeah.
And actually seeing you. And I thought it was funny because I'm in the sales ops side of everything.
Yeah.
So I see a lot of these coaches, right? Or like the sales training and all these different things.
Yeah.
And you were one of the people that I'd never come across. But every time I saw your content, I was like, I like this because it's just, you're not trying.
Yeah.
In a way, maybe. But so after the 7th level stuff, did you know you wanted to start Dialer? Like, did you know that there? Because I
had the idea.
The thing I'm interested in is like, and I was just on another podcast talking about this, is like you went from the military. How old are you right now?
I'm 41.
Okay,
almost
41.
42.
So you went into the military. Were you there like 28, 29 and then you got out?
No, so I was from about 19 to 25, 26.
Okay, and then you got out and you went straight into the PT.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. Okay, that makes sense.
And then I was doing that for a while, and I was like, just sort of stuck in this like, next year sort of headspace, you know? It was like, next year's gonna be great. And I was like, just fucking working, man. Like I was working. And just for nothing, you know what I mean? And it's not, you can make good money as a PT.
Sure.
But I was trying to grow these gyms. And it was like, so you're working twice as hard for half the money.
Yeah.
You know, you can make 200 grand a year as a PT with your eyes closed. You know, so like I could have just done that and been happy.
Yeah.
But I get real bored of like easy shit, really.
I know, I agree with you. Yeah. Well, that's why
it's not a good thing. It's kind of an annoying thing because, you know, it'd be fucking great to be happy and like in like, you know, just like a normal shit. It'd be amazing, but I just don't have it.
I don't have it either. I mean, but the complicated stuff for me is fun, and when things stop becoming, I mean, not complicated, but just I need to solve something, right?
Yeah.
Or I need to innovate something that I'm working on or something along those lines, which, okay, so that makes sense. And then Dialer, obviously, you were running a ton of reps, doing a ton of different shit. You were running sales ops initially. Like, was that your seat, or you were literally doing across the entire line?
For
7th level.
Oh, I was doing everything. I was the sales guy, and then I was the CEO, and I was the founder, right? Because I was the founder of 7th level, me and Jeremy together, because we restructured the whole company, nuked everything, started a new company. So I was the founder. Me and him were the founders, right?
Got it. Okay.
And just when I left, I don't like to say I'm the founder anymore, like because
I get it.
It's just like a weird thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'd probably get a fucking cease and desist or something stupid like that, right?
I mean, hey.
Fuck what or something. You can send it if you want. I don't care. It'll be a great YouTube video. So
just do this again.
yeah, fuck it. Right. So you know, at 7, so I started, because Jeremy's not a business guy, he's a sales guy. He's fucking amazing at it.
Yep.
But like, you know, business is not his thing, and I don't think he claims it to be.
Sure.
And so, but I love business. I love that side of things. So I started off as like, I came in as the rep and then sort of took over the marketing because I was doing all that. We were doing like revenue for like 50 companies. So I was like, I know what to do.
Yeah.
Right. So, and I knew what to do at Sniper. Sniper's all organic. So I put in a really good organic system and put Jeremy on like a shooting schedule and like put together all the content thesis.
Yeah.
Did everything and then had him just do it, right?
Yeah.
And then I was like, I set up like what all the products were gonna be, and then he made them, you know, because he knows more about sales. So he's the fucking goat at that shit, right?
Yep.
And so had him do all that, and then from there started hiring, and then over the course of like the next 2 years, we got up to around 2.5 a month.
Yeah.
And then sort of like, you know, we just had a differing. We had another business partner who's a fucking retard, but and so we just had a difference of opinion in like I did all the math because I did all the business stuff, right? Like all the financials, the projections, everything, and it was like I just ran all the math, and it was like at more than 32 million a year, that business stopped making sense to me, right? Because it was scale for no reason. It was not going to be more profitable. Like every business in its the model and iteration has a cap where like your marginal cost curve stopped making sense.
Yeah, complexity continues rising while margin.
And it was like we should just stop it here and make it into an ATM. Like this is its most profitable state you're ever going to be in. Do you want to make money from a business, or what do you want to do? And so like the thesis was our wants were different, because I was like, I'm not going to make less money and work harder for no reason. Like that business isn't sellable. it's an
fair
influencer-based business. Like, what's the point of this?
Sure.
And then like you can't have a CEO, and I was like the leader of, I was like the heart of the business, like internally, right? Not externally, but internally.
Yeah.
And so like if I didn't believe in the vision of where everybody wanted to take the company, I was like, what am I doing?
You can't beat the drum then. You can't. I mean, yeah, you lose.
like-
yeah. Well, it's interesting because like your background. So I started by taking over teams, and I won't go into my story too in depth, but I had a crowdsourced consulting company. Like that's the way I would consider it, right? We brought in big name people, and they would coach a big group of startups that were paying us a subscription.
Yeah.
Me and my partner went separate ways with it, and I had a bunch of these startups, and I had never started a sales team before, but there was a software company, and they wanted me to come in and start their sales team. So I got to put a freaking blindfold on, and I recruited a bunch of my high school buddies, brought them all into the team, and I was like, here's how you set. I'm going to close everything you bring to me, right? So that's how I got into sales. And I was actually living in a freaking 1-bedroom, like nothing shoebox with Paulina.
Nice.
So she's seeing me for the first time, just like ripping sales calls and getting these commission checks. And that changed the entire...
It's the best skill you can have in business.
Well, I found like what I was good at, and that kept leading to the doors opening, right?
Yeah.
So like that led to me taking over teams fractionally and basically removing myself all the way out, taking rev share or some equity and doing that for a while. Realized I hated doing that for other people because I was like, my mindset at the time, which if I look at it now, I probably should have ran that a little bit harder for a little bit longer, but it was, if I'm able to take you from here to this in this time frame, why don't I just run my own business? Which obviously that was a broken broken in the sense of like I thought it was way simpler, right? But in that time, we were hiring all these operations people who had no idea what a sales team was. They didn't know the difference between a setter or a closer, what the sales managers needed, how we looked at information, all of it. And we were paying these companies tons of money to build basically the infrastructure, right? The reporting, the CRM, all the stuff we needed. And I was telling them how I wanted it done, what to do. I was reviewing everything that they were doing. And a lot of times I was just doing it for them. So that's how I found the gap. And that's where I dove in, and that's where I've just spent my time. You kind of did a skill acquisition, I think, like along the same way. Because anybody that I can speak as in depth as I can speak with you around numbers and data and these different things, they've done the whole chain and they've also built the infrastructure, right?
Yeah.
So it's interesting. So
when you see like large numbers though, you know, I think like the pattern recognition is so much easier. And so like once you've gone into like larger things and like, oh, and then it becomes like, it's so much easier to then kind of like see the patterns in smaller things when you look at them. You go, that's your thing. You stop that.
You can also filter out all the smaller numbers, or like when you're looking at bigger numbers, the thing you should do becomes a lot easier to see. Yeah. At least the way I see it, because it's like we don't have to do all of these crazy different things. We can just do this one piece.
And there's an inherent variability in small anyway, right? Because like, you know, if you make 5 sales and then you make 7, you know, it's a huge increase. If you make 3, it's a huge decrease, right?
Sure.
On a percentage basis, but it's like, it's 2.
Right.
It's 2 sales, mate. Like, what are we talking about here?
Yeah, I mean,
it's
true.
Like, it's just not enough. You know, if you flip a coin 100 times in the first 20, it lands on heads. What did you learn? The answer is nothing.
Right.
It's, you know, like, so it's weird.
Yeah.
It's weird. But it's going to end up being 50-50. It's just, you're not in control of when the 50-50 happens. It could be 50 then 50. It'd be fucking weird, but it's still 50-50, right? Yeah, you know, so the numbers at scale allow you to make better decisions, but then also it removes the volatility of the small. Yeah. And so, you know, like it looks flatter, so the peaks are like, you know, are more obvious because there's just way less of them. Yeah,
I mean, I look at so much data all the time, and just for fun to try and find different shit and do different things, but to where now the recognition is so easy to see all of these different things as long as it's there, right? But closing that and going to the next piece, did you think you were going to get into software?
No, like I remember there was this like my former business partners constantly wanted to make a CRM, and I was like, that's retarded.
Yeah, that's not a good idea.
And they were like, no. I was like, nope. I was like, nope, that's a bad idea. And so I was just like dismissive of it. And it was dismissive because like the level of expense required to do that properly, and the games that you're competing with, like you'd have to have an entry level thing that then became a CRM. Like, and I was like, we know nothing about this stuff. And also, it's like, what problem are we trying to solve? Like, see, the CRM problem has been solved, right?
Yep.
Like, they all do the thing.
Yep.
You know what I mean? My biggest frustration was the dialing side. And I started to have the idea, but I sort of didn't want to say it to anyone, you know what I mean? Because I was like, I never would have done it there. I was like, no, this is not going to happen.
Right.
Because to do software, the reason why, me and Cole were just talking about this, the reason why a lot of like the coaching guys who go into software fail is because they need the money from the software, right? And in that environment, everyone wanted money all the time. So it's like, it's hard to grow a business when you want the money from the business,
right.
You know what I mean? So like when I set up Dialer, like I set it up as a call center first. That was just to kind of prove out everything, right? So at SDR call center, and then it was like, that gave us 9 months of people paying us to dial leads, to test the dialer and to like, without having to launch it.
Right.
And then all my messaging was about, look how good the dialing stats are on our SDR call center.
Yeah.
Right, like you don't need good SDRs, you just need this, right? So I got to like do a market positioning play for like a good year before we ever launched it. And they were like, hey, we're launching Dialer. There was a big confusion part around like people thought that we were still call center, just rebranding, but that's all done now. People forget the call center even existed, but we sold that. And they're still on the Dialer, still do their thing, still, like, you know. But that gave us a really good opportunity to kind of like problem solve and actually test it in real time.
Yeah.
Before we actually launched it. Now, like it was definitely like probably pre-MVP, like minimum viable product, but the dialing worked really well.
Yeah.
Right? And so like that problem of the dialing was such a frustrating point. I remember I was doing Brunson sales. This is the thing that really cracked it for me. Like at 7th level, we had massive problems with it. Right, but when I was doing Brunson sales, like I remember I had like 4 or 5 dudes dialing full time, doing like $12,000-$15,000 a week. Like they were 8 hours a day dialing, right?
Yeah.
And 1% pickup rate. I was like, what in the fuck is happening? This is so crazy. They're buyer leads. They're Brunson
you know what's funny is like, you say that to anybody and they're like, oh yeah, that's about right.
I was like,
normal.
I can't accept this.
Yeah.
Because my first thought was, there's no way call centers deal with this. That was my first instinct. I was like, there's no way a call center deals with this. I was like, what are they doing? And then like when I like started to shut the sales sniper down, because I didn't want to do it anymore.
Yeah.
So, but it takes a long time to shut a large business down. Like you just don't.
Right, well you can't just,
you can't.
good
like,
luck everybody.
Yeah. And so like I had to start shutting that down. That took like, it actually only really just finished. Like it took years to do it, like the proper way with, anyway. In Australia, there's very specific rules you have to follow. And so, like as we built Dialer, like my main thing was like, I want to take on a partner. So Declan is my business partner there. He's exited a business before. He doesn't need money. I don't need money, right? I was really comfortable. Like I can make an income easily, so I don't need any money from this thing.
Yep.
And so he came in and we were like, yep, sweet. So he runs like, he was like, you just do the sales, the marketing, and like the product development stuff with the guys, and he's like, he'll do everything else. So he does all that stuff. I do one meeting
Is he
a week.
running like the dev side?
No, our CTO runs the dev side.
Okay, so he's running more...
all the business stuff.
Okay,
like
got it.
Making sure everything's done.
Sure.
We have about 30 staff now.
Okay.
I have one meeting a week. That's it.
Yep.
And like I set up a lot of the departments and then handed them off, set up, handed them off. Right?
Yeah, got it.
And so, but he does all the business stuff. I just like spruiking out the front. And then like coming up with all the product ideas and stuff like that.
Ah, makes sense. So you're closest to, I mean, when I saw you guys come out, I thought it was interesting because right now, I mean, you're going to say, yep, I already know, is everybody that's coming out with software, they want to be 65 different components, right? So it's like, oh, we're CRM, we're marketing email, we're this, we're reporting, we're these things, we're this, we're this, we're this, we're this. And it's like, yeah, but there's 70,000 of these platforms out where they're all claiming to do 55 different things. And then the product sprint just becomes about adding more features, right? And I mean, even look at like Salesforce, HubSpot, GHL, anything that's like been around and big, like they just feature stacking now, right? So it then becomes like, what is...
But I think it depends on like, that's the problem with that is that like, if that's your value prop, we're your one-stop shop.
Well,
We
there's
are for
already
sure not
there's
your
already
one-stop
one-stop shops, is what I mean.
Yeah.
Right, and they're bigger, better, stronger. Right. So, but when we were talking, and you're explaining dialer, I was like, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because it's like this is the issue, and then when dialer was launched in Paris.
When was Paris?
I don't remember.
We launched a year ago.
Okay, so it had to have been basically a year ago.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it would have been like a year ago.
Yeah. So when you were talking to me, it was like, look, like we solve these problems, and this is who it's for. That's when I realized I was like, this is going to be interesting, and if you stay on that, you're going to be able to continue building in that one lane.
Yeah.
And that's how I see it for us, is like, now I know if there's this specific problem, I can go and solve for just this thing with this platform. And it's not going to be some complicated, tons of different features. Hey, replace this part of this piece of your CRM and all of these other, you know what I mean? Like
makes it, it's when I did like the marketing analysis of how I plan to position it, right? Like, because like I was like, I built a dialer, but I was like, like I had no interest in building a dialing software, which is like a telephony system for a business, right? Like look at Aircall or Allaware. Like I have no interest in building that. That's basically a Twilio skin with some plugins. Okay. Right? That's what it is. That's what they all are. Twilio has fantastic dev tools. With some know-how and 1 week, you can build a dialer. But it's just a piece of shit, right? Like it's so easy to dev on that's where all the dialers have popped up from because of opportunity, right? Like, oh, I can do that. I've got money. You can create a really good use case. Aircall does 174 million ARR. So you can see it's multi-billions in TAM.
They're doing that much. Right?
Multi-billion, like Just Call just got valued at over $1 billion.
Wow.
Right? So the TAM is enormous, right? Like you can do hundreds of millions a year.
What's a requirement for your business now?
Yeah.
Like it's not a...
Yeah, and so like with a good pitch deck and an IM, you'll get $30, $40 million thrown at you pretty easily, right? Now, I didn't borrow any money, and I don't want to. And like I have a look at their value propositions, and they're just all commodities, which is why they're all around the same price, and it's a feature war. I had no interest in that game whatsoever. We wanted to build like an F1 car, which was like, we're shit if you try and take us to the shops, but if you want to go fast around a track, you know what I mean? Ricky Bobby will get you there. Right?
Going fast.
That is all we do.
Yeah.
And like doing all the other stuff actually makes that function worse. Right? So
sure.
Like we're really careful with like our features and how they're gonna roll out. Because like people want things and I go, yeah, that'd be great, you're never gonna get it. They go, oh, but, and I go, yeah, but mate, like don't use this for that. Like, yes, we're more expensive than dollars, but you're probably gonna have to have another one too. Like, you know what I mean? And like we're coming up with some stuff to bolt around some of that to make that easier for people without going away from our core functionality.
Yeah.
But it's like, there are so many things that you have to do in order to get that dialing side right that there's said there's 15 of them. If you do 14, you might as well do none. So you have to do all of them. And like what that means is one of those things is maintaining compliance so we enforce it. So we have arguments with clients all the time that want to change the rules, and I go, mate, I'm sorry.
I was about to bring that up. What are the common things that you're seeing because like when you started talking to me about compliance, I was like, oh shit,
Yeah.
We check all those boxes, right? And I'm guaranteed everyone else does at the same,
It's how many times, like, one, like you're really supposed to have no more than 5 minutes in between a dial.
Okay.
Right? You're not supposed to do anything that breaks through an inbuilt consumer protection, so double dialing's out,
right?
Which is a common practice. Triple dialing is definitely out.
Yep.
You sort of want to limit yourself to 3, maybe 4 times in a day, and 7, maybe 10 times in a week.
Okay.
Right? And then there are, each state has a different time that you have to stop calling. Each state has different rules every month of the days that you can and cannot dial, right? And that's any opt-in. Now, if you have a customer, it's different. You can do a lot more because there's no TCPA. So the TCPA, people go, oh, but I have opt-in leads. Like, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Like, those rules all apply to opt-ins, right? And unless your wording is specific, then yours is probably not, you can't do anything but manual dialing. Right? So as soon as you introduce a power dialer or anything where the human doesn't initiate every dial, that's an ATDS, which is automatic telephone dialing system, right? So then you got manual dialing. But the problem with manual dialing is it's slow and you're relying on the person to make a subjective viewpoint for every dial.
Yep.
So what we did is we built an automated manual dialer that does lead queuing one at a time based on the manager's preferences of like how it wants to
setting
feed
up
leads.
prioritization.
And then because of that system, we can build in, one, it's manual, so it's like insanely compliant. So you can get away with a lot more because you're manually dialing people, right? Everyone, they have to click the button. I don't want them to click the button. They need to click the fucking button. Like it is, guys can still do $300 in a day. It doesn't make a fucking difference,
But
right?
the choice is not what do I click on, it's
that one thing, right?
Correct. Yep.
And then it's monitoring how they're called, when they're called, how often they've been called, like when they opted in, and it's presenting the best lead that's available at the time.
Sure.
So sometimes setters might complain, oh, it's bringing me only the old leads. It's like, yeah, mate, you're welcome. I'm stopping you from breaking the law. Like I had a guy come up to me just before, and he was like, oh, the setters by like Wednesday afternoon are getting like all the old leads. I was like, yeah, you're welcome. He's like, oh, how do we fix that? I was like, you get more leads, buddy, because I'm stopping you from breaking the law. So if you want more leads in that time, you get more new leads. You turn the volume up on Wednesday, mate.
Yep.
Get more leads in. But I was like, those people who you want to be calling are not supposed to be called. You've maxed out how often you can call them in the time period, right? So, and then speed to lead is the best thing to optimize for. So we automate speed to lead, and not like people automate it with like, we get a Slack message and then they like it, and then it's like, no, that's fucking stupid.
Yep.
We had a complaint from a client that they were getting called too fast. Like I'm talking within 10, 15 seconds. They're like, oh, we need a delay. I was like, then put in a delay.
Right.
I was like, that's not on me, brother.
Yeah,
like, that's the best complaint I've ever had in my entire life.
I'd be happy
Frame
with
it.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think, well, it depends on who they're calling, but for us, like when we're looking at front end, right, we're trying to help with a throughput on the setter side, right? It's going to be speed to lead, and then it's going to be frequency and touching.
Yeah,
right?
and time of day, I would say.
Time of day is going to be super variable depending on, again, who the business is, all these things.
When
but
the leads come in, yeah.
Tracking, right, to be able to see that stuff. Anyways, the point I'm making is like the higher up the chain that you can solve for equals the more throughput, right? So like when you're talking about
doubling your click-through rate or your contact rate, because click-through, like pickup rate is one thing.
define those, because I misunderstood when you first.
Pickup rate is dial to pickup.
Right.
One dial, one pickup, right?
Sure.
20% is 20, right? But that's gonna change because like if you're calling your brand new leads, you might have 25.
Versus follow-ups.
If you got follow, it might be 10.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Versus leads that came through the weekend and now you're calling on Monday.
Yeah, so we show an aggregate, but then we also break it down by campaign because you're supposed to have a 5% pickup rate on the people who you've called 60 times already.
Right.
Like those people just don't pick up, bro. But like if you want to chuck them in when no one else is around, then chuck them in.
Right.
So, and like no dialer can make anyone pick up. You can just remove the reasons why they won't, right? And then contact rate is of the leads you have, how many you speak to.
Okay.
Now I get people to focus on that because like that's a good system.
Yeah.
Pickup rate is, the better your pickup rate is, it can actually make your contact rate go down if you don't have enough people, right?
Explain that.
It won't go down overall, but it can make it go down compared to what you used to have on like dialer, for example.
Okay.
Because like if you're talking to a lot of people, like if your contact rate is how many of your leads do you speak to, right? Now, if your pickup rate's really high, then and your guys have long calls, you cannot handle many leads.
Right.
But they're going to have more sets.
Right.
Right? But like you need to get more
see what
people.
you're saying.
You need to get more people. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
So like there's some ratios there that you have to kind of figure out. We provide some reporting around that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like, some people come in and they go like, yeah, our setters get 150 leads a day. I'm like, that's not going to work. And they go, fucking, we're not even, then they come to me and they go, we're not getting to our leads. I go, yeah, man.
Because you're talking to them.
You need 20 more people, mate.
Yeah, I could see that.
So Daniel Isles, who has Viral Coach, sorry.
Yeah.
He's on, and they had 5 setters. And
That's the guy that you introduced me to?
Yeah, I sent him a loom.
Yeah.
He's a really smart dude. I sent him a loom and I said, you need to hire 12 more setters. And he hired them the next day.
Damn, they're crushing it right now then, aren't they? Yeah.
I said, mate, like you have way too many leads. So you have like your option is either get less leads or like get more people, because his unique dial rate was like 85% and it should be like 30.
Right.
Right? And so but their guys were on all day, and they had a 24% pickup rate, and they were on talk time all like 6-7 hours a day.
Yeah.
So I was just like, dude, just hire 12 more people. He goes, oh yeah, and I go, sweet, mate. They got like an extra $1 million. It's fucking crazy. Just because,
it's a good problem to have.
Yeah.
I could see contact rate going way up, and then because of that, early leads. Because like, for example, for the last like 2 or 3 years, our process has been, all right, lead prioritization on the front end, speed to lead, obviously, right? If the team is big enough and the volume's high enough, then we have our A team on speed, right? And our B team on everything past 24 hours.
That's
right?
great, yeah.
So that's how we would have to try and solve for that. But then the tech was always the constraint around it.
We could do that in 10 seconds.
Right.
Yeah.
Not as the setup, but the actual like infrastructure behind it.
Yeah.
Right? Like being able to actually have, I mean, if you're doing volume like that, then compliance is a huge piece.
Yeah.
No one knows, I don't know compliance, right? And like I'm in this stuff all day, right? And after speaking to you, I'm like, that's interesting. But then the piece is like, so when you go into a company, right? And I mean, let's say, I don't know, 5, 10, 15 setters, right? Paid this group, right? This group. You're switching them from whatever they're on into dialer. What are you helping them set up, and how are you, like, how do you see like the first V1 of like prioritization, how your reps, because like I could also see people getting on the front end, connection rate goes up, they're on phone calls. Do you guys prioritize or have some kind of methodology that you follow to where backside reactivation comes back into like a second queue? Like how does that all work infrastructure-wise for dialer?
So,
or what do you recommend?
Yeah,
right?
So every setup is custom.
Yeah.
Like that's why it's an enterprise level software. We just let anyone use it.
Of course.
But it's an enterprise onboarding. So it's like, how do you want to use it?
Right.
And we have to train your team. So we do all that. So we automate most of it, but it's about a 7-day process, right? Like
in terms of setup.
Yeah, because we got to provision numbers for you, and we get all the monitoring. Because the dialing has changed. How much dialing you're going to do will dictate to us like how we do it. Right. And then we can set up teams. So we have teams.
Okay.
And then we have like lead sources.
Got it.
So teams can be across multiple lead sources, or a team can be across one lead source, or a lead source can be across multiple teams, right?
Yep.
And then you can build different types of campaigns. So a speed to lead campaign is going to do 3 times day 1 with a 30-minute minimum interval.
Okay.
So it'll go, as soon as a lead is generated, it is the next lead in the queue. So someone's online, it's boom, straight away.
So you believe in open pool on the front end?
Well, you can team it, right? One person could be a team, but that's not if you want speed to lead, you can't lead routing and speed to lead are diametrically opposed.
Yep.
Right? They're like completely opposite theses, right? So we'll do like, sweet. So for speed to lead, it's just better to have a big pool. Now you might have a pool of like, say reps A, B, and C are the pools, and like, rep team A gets all the speed to lead. So you can do it that way. So we have speed to lead campaigns. It's usually going to be 3 times day 1, 3 times day 2, and then like once a day from then on. And it's a minimum interval of like 30 minutes. So what that means is like you'll call them 30 minutes later, call them. It's minimum, not maximum.
Okay.
So like what that means is that if new leads are just cranking in, it's going to prioritize a brand new lead that's been called 0 times over a brand new that's been called once. Right, and then it's constantly reprioritizing. So we don't have lists, we have pools of leads.
Right.
And then the little claw machine is picking them out one at a time. As soon as the setter is ready, it just goes bang,
feeding
bang,
it to the
bang,
next.
bang, bang. That's why like there's a lead does not exist in a list unless it's being dialed.
Right.
Then it is immediately
because it's presented to the actual.
Yeah.
Correct,
so it's like it's a campaign. So it's like they don't exist in a campaign unless they're actively being dialed.
Filtered in.
So it's like it's kind of a weird system.
Yeah, it's interesting. Like the approach that we've always taught is like, unless you know your numbers, right? Set standard delegation so that we can get benchmarks across all your reps, so that we can figure out who's performing, who's not, right?
But we can see that anyway.
Right.
So yeah.
But in general, like that's how we would set them up. Then we had our activity based, which was like, as long as you're making a dial, right, within our working hours, then the leads will be delegated to you. So if you haven't called the next amount of time, right, you're quote unquote offline, you won't be getting leads. Hence, basically, hey, we need you to be active throughout the day, right? And then we would, if right? Those two things work. We could do delegation outside of office hours. So they come in with leads, and then in office hours, it flips to the activity-based. Or we would do, for example, just straight prioritization, where it comes in filters, 10 million plus go to these groups, et cetera. With Dialer, so you guys launch your HubSpot integration, right? GHL. Is there any other stuff that you plan on kind of integrating with or tying into?
We're speaking to a couple at the moment.
Okay, interesting. Yeah.
Like a couple larger ones, we're in conversations with them.
Nice. Yeah.
But like, the big thing that we're sort of, like, we're introducing more endpoints for people like yourself, right?
Yeah.
Because like, we have a dial count endpoint, we have the log a call endpoint that's coming out like next week, which is like, so if a call is logged in HubSpot, it goes to the dialer anyway.
Right. So it's by.
And so that means you can like, it'll just disposition and track everything in there as well.
100%.
And also for SMSing, it's the same thing. And then from there, we're introducing more endpoints around like, so just so you can do more things, right?
Yeah.
So, but we have now we have really good integrations with HubSpot, so it's all workflow based. Right? We have a cadence builder now, so you can build out all your own custom cadences within Dialer. We have like the ability to create power dialing lists now, but it's a compliant power dialer, so it's essentially that same preview dialer, but with different speeds. So like it just forces you to go through it faster.
Interesting.
You know what I mean? And then so you could make a list through a HubSpot for a specific setter. Right? And that might be their pipeline. And then they can turn that on and off. So they can just go in, turn it on, turn it off.
So for example, I have a large webinar that's coming up. I want the setters calling a specific list of everybody that joined.
Well, you might have a complete suite for events, right? And then, but you only run
when you
events
need that
once
campaign,
a quarter.
you go plug it in
on,
and boom.
And then it's on. It just goes like that, does its thing. So you don't require any training for the team. They just do what's in front of them, right? It doesn't require like crazy shit, and it can go dormant and come back on. So we do a lot of like online events, right? Which are like crazy high volume, like all of Alicia Little's stuff, the one that she just did with Brunson.
I'm not familiar with her.
It was fucking massive. Like, geez, it was big. Like, we like the APIs were like redlining. There was so many leads. Like we had a 50,000 per day limit, and like we had to bump it.
Just blow through it.
Dude, it was crazy. So like we do some really high volume stuff, then we do some small volume stuff as well. But it's really about like you can create however you want it. And then, but there's like there's compliant ring fencing around it. And if you want to go outside of that, you have to like sign a pretty raucous waiver that no one is willing to sign. It's designed to be like, so and then it puts their name in there, it might be the manager's name. Knowingly and with full intention are breaking the law, and this is 100% on purpose, and it is my decision to do so, and I will personally bear all consequences, and I alleviate all liability to the business owner who owns the business in which we are dialing leads for.
Yeah, no problem.
Nobody fucking says it. They go, I want to dial leads at 10 p.m. And I go, sweet, sign this. They go, maybe we just stop it at 9.
Never mind.
I go, hey, why don't we just do that? You fucking retard.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. It's
like,
well, you've seen,
because it's like it ruins everything. So I understand people want to do it, but I'm like, it doesn't get you a better result, mate. Like because everything is that your numbers do is tracked. Everything. Every single action is tracked, right? Same with SMS. That's why we keep the system separate, right? And it's. I was actually talking to Iggy from Charlie, and he sees the same data and across shitloads of SMSing. If you call from the same numbers you text from, you get lower deliverability on text and lower pickup rates in the call. So everyone's like, it's better. I need to do this. Go. Well, I can categorically tell you it's not.
That's interesting.
It's like if you separate them, you'll get more replies on text message and you'll get more pickups on the phone.
Well, that's interesting. I've never looked at that data before. One, because I've always been able to text from
define trust. Quantify trust for me.
The thought is, well, if I text them before.
For sure.
But
the thought is that
correct.
Fucking,
but if I get a
Osama
text,
bin Laden did 9/11, but I don't think that shit happened either.
We can go there too,
So like, I have these conversations with people and they go, yeah, but it's like it builds more trust. I go, quantify it. Tell me, how much? How much more trust? Is it 3 more trusts?
Yeah. How many?
I go, because I have data across millions of data points that I can prove to you that my thought process is categorically correct.
I mean, if I'm calling me, if I text me and then I call me from a random line,
Yeah.
super unlikely, answer the call because I might think it's somebody else or something along those lines. Like if I'm here, maybe I gave my number to someone.
I guess what are the odds that you remember the number?
Never.
So what the fuck's the point? I mean, also they don't know it's you calling.
Well, the first thing I do whenever a number I don't have calls me is I click the message and I check if it's green or if it's blue. If it's green, I check if I've texted them before.
Yeah.
If it's blue, I check if I've texted them before.
You're like an unusual use case though, right?
Well, 100%.
Yeah, like you're more tech savvy. So like the only thing where I agree with that is when you're doing your set confirmation calls.
Sure.
Right. So like you're texting them from one as confirming, and then you might call them from the same one to confirm. But that's sort of they're now an SQL.
Right.
They're not an MQL.
Right. They're past the front door.
They're past the front door.
Yeah.
Whereas like categorically, you should call first, then text. You should probably give it at least 2 dials before you text, because it is proven to lower your pickup rate if you text them first. Right. Also, don't use branded caller IDs for speed to lead. Right. Use that later on in the process.
Right.
For the people who haven't picked up. Right. Throw a 1-800 number in there.
Yeah.
You know, rotate through, try it out, because different people will respond to different things.
Yeah.
Some people need SMSing, they won't pick up a dial. Some people prefer email.
Right.
Some people like, but generally speaking, you're going to like, on average, our clients speak to, on average, this is without email and SMS, half their leads, which is fucking crazy to me.
Yeah, that's pretty wild.
Right? Like,
yeah.
And people who come to me, like, my pickup rate was 8% today. I was like, what's your contact rate? They go, 62. I go, shut the fuck up and thank me. Here's my address, send me flowers. Right? Like, you should
It's funny how people try
lucky.
I like the contact, it just simplifies it down, right? I want to know how many leads we've spoken to, and if my default is like connection rate. Do you cut that off? Like, is it just an answer, or is it like contact rate, right?
It's
if
an
I
answer,
say
but
hello,
no
and
voicemails.
Okay, got it.
Right? So, because that you've contacted them. Now,
sure.
The efficacy of your setters will then deal with how many people are over 30 seconds.
Right.
Right?
Yep.
So but that's a skill set thing. I want to know the number one lever that you can make with your setters, besides having them work 8 hours a day, right? And like take out tech and all that kind of stuff, but with them directly, is that you can make their opener good.
Yeah.
That's it. You just have a good opener.
100%.
And it should be the same all the time, identical, like same tonality. You should be able to punch them in their sleep and go, ring, ring, and they go, hello. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Right?
That's what we've been looking at a ton, and that's what I was talking to you about. And it's, one, tomorrow, I'm asking everybody, the first thing when I get to the hook rate piece is, like, how many people in here could actually tell me what their setters are saying in their opener?
Yeah.
No one's going to know.
Yeah.
Not even not at all.
Yeah.
Right?
Cole will.
Yeah. Okay.
His setters are good.
Of course.
Yeah.
There's going to be 2 or 3 people in there, right?
Yeah.
And what do you know? They all have the biggest sales teams that are producing at the highest rate, right? But I was just doing nerdy freaking digging into stuff, and we have a client who has a massive team, and we were pulling a bunch of transcripts, right? And I was just feeding it into the AI, trying to figure this stuff out. And it was like, it spit me back this thing. This is how I got to this metric. Spit me back, basically.
The variance was huge.
Here's all of your opener, right, categories, right? This is like what people are saying, right? This one, they're having a conversation longer than 2 minutes at this percentage, right? Mm-hmm. These 4 are like non-existent, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, holy shit, right? This is interesting.
You know what would be cool with that in Dialer? We could do that.
That would be huge.
Because we already have that data anyway, but you could actually get them to have a like if they have, say, 2 openers,
right?
You could say like AB.
Well, that's right? What we
should force them to do it, because they'd always.
I'll have to show you this.
Prompted.
I'll have to show you this, because now what we've done is like it takes it, and people will say like different words in between or whatever, but like if the opener is like the main opener and they stick to it, right? That's our control. And then if they have, I don't know, you hire somebody new and they start going off, right? That'll be a deviation from the script fully.
Yeah.
Right? And it is actually capturing that. So we're getting that report every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
But if by chance somebody goes off on some random frickin' talk track or whatever, and it works, right? And it spikes it, we also see that. So like, no sales director who's not just diabolical is going to go and sit there every single day and constantly monitor what the openers, right, what they're saying, right? At least none that I know, right? Like at least not consistently, right? So, I mean, that would be a sick feature, dude. To be able to float that back to.
Yeah, but we already have half of it.
Because you guys, actually, this could be.
Because our AI, our transcription.
That's what I was going to ask.
We have transcription already. It does auto redactions as well. So we're already reading it and then redacting information that shouldn't be in there, like non-compliant words or PHI or PPI information.
Dude,
and then we have AI synopsis, and we already have the sentiment analysis, topic detention, and script adherence is like a very easy one to build.
100%.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see where you go with this because from what I understand, a lot of the software out there is not built by people that have.
You can't vibe code. So like I've learned a lot about this. You can vibe code, but you can't vibe code scalable solutions, right? So you can vibe code an initial one that will work for a bunch of people.
Yeah.
But like I've had like the language we code on is quite complex.
Well, I was more going towards like I'm just excited to see a salesperson building a sales tool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I feel like a lot of the stuff out there is built by a dev, right? Or
well, I mean, most of our, it's funny. I spoke at Andy Elliott's thing a while ago, and I'm going there in a few days. And I was like, they were like, why should we trust you? I was like, well, I've done. And it was a good question.
No, it is. Yeah.
I was like, well, like, why is your dialer better, like, for salespeople? I was like, well, like, I've been in sales now, basically full time, since 2012. I think I opened my first gym, right? Yeah. The other guy has a Bachelor of Arts degree. I don't think he's sold anything his whole life, except a fucking pitch deck to borrow $30 million. And, I've managed, like, you say like some of our bigger competitions like Alloware, right?
Sure.
We got to their revenue, it took them 6 years, we did it in 12 months.
It's impressive.
Right? We're not at their revenue currently, but where they were at 6 years, we did it in 12
I
months.
see what you're saying, yeah.
Right? So like, and that's just because, like, there were so many funny things. Like when I was talking about this before, when I was doing the marketing analysis for Dialer, like I could tell nobody had spent their own money marketing. I was like, the marketing for these businesses is so dog shit. Like their positioning is crap. They're all commodities. They're going feature heavy, never talking about a benefit. And like even stupid shit like, when you start a business, you should buy every single domain that is around your business.
Dude, I learned this from you, yeah.
Like,
I started buying everything just so you wouldn't
own every
blackmail
single
me one time.
variant of these fucking dialers, right?
That was actually Paris.
Even I own PowerDialer.com. I cannot fucking believe it was available.
Yeah, that's pretty wild.
Right? I own like AutoDialer.com. I own like all these things because
that's what we did with HubSpot.
We're having them
RevOps
built into our back end of our thing and building out like blog sites to do stuff. We're doing that at the moment. But I was like, this is like sort of like it's not well known, but it's like people who have done things like sort of pick that trick up, especially like when you're dealing in websites and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I was like, I couldn't believe that like some of these businesses had borrowed $150 million. Like I think Close just borrowed 100 mil, right? They got 100 mil injection, yeah.
Like this closed CRM?
Yeah. I could be wrong, but that's what I've
They got
been
funding?
told. Yeah.
Are they just going?
They're going to go ham. I don't know what they're doing with it, but
interesting.
I could be wrong, but that's what I was told. And so, but like a lot of these businesses have borrowed a lot of money, like seed funding.
No, yeah, I know that.
Right. As soon as you get into the realm of, especially VC, like you are forced to grow, and the product doesn't matter.
Right.
Like that's just how they operate, and they want you to borrow money. It's a whole fucking ancestral thing.
Yeah.
But and so like I was just looking at them, and I was like, oh, they're all just like, it's just a huge TAM, So there's nobody with a really unique and distinct point of difference that like. And nobody that has sold a lot and is willing and is in a position that I'm in where I don't need any money from the company.
Yeah.
So it can grow slow, it can grow fast.
Right.
Like I know that it'll sell one day because it's a good product. And if we just...
Well, you can grow it right.
If we just only focus on the product, like everything else will take care of itself. But like I could grow this thing so much faster. If I don't try to sell it, I have a sales guy that does it. He does a great job. Every time I do a push, I sign up 30 to 50 accounts in about a 3-week period, right? I'm doing a push right now. We signed up 10 yesterday. You know, so like I do a big push every 12 weeks or so. We sign up a ton of people. If I did that every month, though, we'd fucking break the thing.
Yeah.
You know, it's just you end up with all these variables that you haven't seen.
It's interesting. Like software in general is like fast cash. People think they're gonna get super rich really quick.
Nah, bro, it takes.
So I get it. Yeah. Trust me, I understand. I know.
Yeah.
I work with a lot of great people in the software space, and that's like the background that I was in.
Yeah.
So I see it, but the misconception with a lot of these young guys getting into it, right? It's
like you can exit for big money.
You can,
but like you're like if you want to do like an 18-month turnaround exit, you're not taking a dime for 18 months. Like you have to understand that. Like if you want to do it that quick, you cannot take a dime out of that business.
And then you exit it. I don't really know anybody that's ever done that.
I've seen it done once or twice, but it's usually like, you know, AI boom type stuff. Or
right.
Like,
yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like it's someone hits one thing, they get a crazy amount of users.
Yeah.
And they sell pre-rev.
I mean, that makes that, yeah, I could see that for sure.
$50 million pre-rev.
Yeah.
They're like, fucking sweet, bring it on, motherfucker. You know
I'm done, yeah.
Like we're planning for multi nine, no, we're going for multi.
Interesting.
Like, what is it? Multi 9 figures.
Yeah.
Right? So, it's an M, right? 9 figure, it's 100 million?
Yes.
Yeah, we're going for multi 9 figures.
8, 10 million, 9.
Yeah.
Extra 0.
Yeah, we're going for like pretty good. So, you know, we're looking to get it to probably, you know, at 20 million, we'll start seriously shopping. At 20 million a year ARR, we'll start seriously shopping. We have M&A advisors now. The business has been set up to sell from day one.
Yeah.
It is like engineered to sell.
Yeah.
The books are in crazy clean. Everything's like perfect. It'll be like the easiest transaction.
Yeah.
You know, but like we are setting it up to be, but we're not going to take any money on because we don't need it. But two, I don't want to dilute the product. I want it to be the best product that is possibly imaginable to do the one thing that we wanted to do, which is get businesses to speak to more of their leads. That's it.
Yep.
And so anything that takes us away from that is just a distraction. So people will tell me they want things, and I go, shut up. Like I'm gonna give you what I know you need, and nothing else. Like there will be no compensations made.
Yeah. AI.
Yeah.
Are you guys gonna really push that in there? The reason I'm like so interested to see where you guys take this is like, again, sales tool. You still are in, like, you know what I mean? Like, I think a lot of people who found tech or start SaaS, they're solving a problem that they've wanted to solve, right? And they get so far removed from it, take a bunch of money, and then the product starts going like all over the place, right? For you, like these little things that you start to see, are you planning to just keep building into it so it becomes something that solves like analysis and maybe some augmentation for the director of sales and stuff along those lines, but still maintaining this is what we do, but
the dashboarding is a key component because
that's basically what I was going to say is like the optics and analysis and being able, like with AI, there's so much stuff you can do with it now.
So you got like, there's two components to it, right? There's what the users use and there's what the managers can glean, right? So like our dashboarding system is pretty basic, but it's actually very good if you know how to read it.
Sure.
Right? We've done the education, whether people look at it or not is one thing. But we've now come out with a secondary dashboard for managers specifically, which is designed to break down that data into more consumable bites of like insights that here's your insight.
Yep.
Merry Christmas.
Yep.
Here's your heat map,
Yep.
right? You know? And then we've got an AI in that is trained to answer questions. It has all the data, so it answers questions, right?
Right.
What I see AI doing really well is one, like, you know, just pattern recognition from inside.
Yeah.
So like our, you know, I think AI is going to revolutionize how CRMs work
100%.
because CRMs are data lakes.
It already is.
Yeah. So like we're making a bunch of lead scoring API endpoints.
Yep.
Right. For people like you to be at like 1 to 100. There's like you can get very granular with it, right? That's
exciting.
So. Like that's all being done right now, and so it's like that. Therefore, like you know, you can set up workflows in HubSpot, for example, that you know trigger and assign a lead score and send in for a specific action, right?
100%.
And then it's just done without I think AI is going to like revolutionize the reading of the intent of those actions,
Yeah.
We're using AI with the summaries, but like we're bringing in topic detention, sentiment analysis, and script adherence scoring.
Yep.
Right? That's all kind of being built out. It's on the dev pipeline for the next sort of like say 4 months.
Yeah.
And so like that's where AI I think really helps us out a lot. I don't think like from a dialing perspective, like we don't plan to do any AI sales agent stuff because I don't believe it will be allowed. And I don't think it's going to be the most effective tool.
Right.
Because enabling the sale with voice, with text, yes. With voice though, they're very against it and it's very cumbersome.
Yep.
Now CX though, I think will be a total fucking game changer. I think that IVR, so inbound routing, I think with an AI receptionist is probably the best way you could do it.
Sure.
Where it says like, where do you want to go to?
Yeah.
And it goes here, here, here.
Yep.
Also failed payments will be a large one because...
Well, they're already a customer too.
Yeah, but like, I don't know if people know this, but a failed payment is technically debt recovery.
Which means?
Like it's a legal minefield. The moment you are contacting someone to recover a payment or to get them to pay because their payment bounced, you are under US debt recovery law. So like you can only contact them every 7 days.
Interesting.
Right? Like you have to say certain things. Like there are really specific rules around that. And if somebody plays the game well, they can fucking destroy you. It's way worse than anything TCPA, right?
Damn.
So like now, most people are never going to, anything's going to happen to them because they're customers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it's when you piss off, like speak to the guy who spoke today. Right, Stripe sent a notification at 9 p.m. to one of his customers with a failed payment.
And someone...
$100,000.
No way.
Yep. Because it was a debt recovery past 8 p.m. in Florida and a text message. And Stripe sent it.
Wow.
But it was on his behalf.
Right.
So got sued.
Wow.
But yeah, got sued.
Dude, that's crazy.
And then he settled for less than that. But the guy just knew the rules and was like, oh hey,
perfect.
Man, fuck you.
Yeah.
And so that's all it takes is some douchebag that knows the rule. And so like there are all these things. And so I think like, you know, with AI, you can automate that process and have it be very diligently followed.
Yeah. I mean, yes, 100%. My hypothesis with AI is like, you hear it in all the conversations right now. Everybody's building and doing all these things and going super fast. Where it's going to be really good and why I'm so bullish on HubSpot is because the marketing, the sales, the conversations, the transcripts, everything can flow in, right? And it has the infrastructure to house it all, right? Including on the backside, data, all of this stuff, right? Contracts. So the more under one roof you can keep all your data,
people don't look
the more
at it as a data
consumable
lake,
it is.
but it is one.
Correct.
So if you can then, you know, I'm assuming you can get it out of there as well, but it's like you could
direct syncs with Claude.
You can visualize whatever data you want.
100%.
You can get very deep analytical insights from initial lead source to 3 years worth of client.
You can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
But that's where I was going with that point is it's going to get to the point where people don't know what to look at when.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's going to be way over, like people are just going to be tinkering in data 24/7, right? So like, I think what's cool about, and I'm just speaking out loud from like what I think would be cool for Dialer is like if you guys went down the path of like the AI analysis specifically for these pieces, so they don't have to go and try and figure out all these different things, and then you floated
AI
it
is
to
only
them.
as good as the prompt, right?
Well, and when they're actually using the information.
Yeah.
Right? Like, we always talk about rhythm behind the data and when you're looking at it, right? So like if a sales manager set up the hook rate report, right? Then every 2 weeks we'd want them coming back to that report to take a look at the controls and the variances in the scripting to try and see if there's a better hook or a better opener, right? If you don't set that cadence up with them, like actually set it on their calendar, hey, when did you go back and look at the data? Oh shit, I haven't in 2 months, right? So
one of the things we built that we never we've built it and it works, we haven't used it, is the ability to put tasks onto people's calendars.
On calendars?
Yeah, from Dialer.
That's
so,
interesting.
Like, you can do that in there. We built it because we were like looking at doing some other stuff, and then we just sort of like didn't know quite what to do with it.
Yeah.
Because we have like a task system. So it's like, do you want the ability to put that task on your calendar?
How much do you know the roadmap versus letting the roadmap be created by like the
Right now, it's very clear.
Clear?
Oh, it's like super clear.
In the beginning, though, was it more like?
No, in the beginning, it was like the growth was so quick, and like unexpectedly so.
Sure.
Like we just getting to 500K a month of software in 12 months is like, it's hyper
sick.
growth.
Yeah.
Like that doesn't sound crazy for coaching. It is fucking unheard of.
Yeah.
Without taking money and without advertising. It's unheard of in
Yeah.
software, right? For seat-based stuff. Especially because like we're not a particularly expensive software. It's only like it's a $10,000 type of thing.
Right.
Right. So, like we were, the ship was evolving.
Yep.
And we've been focused on like, I don't know if you know, these are like multi-tenancy, multi-instance, right? So it's like at first people come onto Dialer, they were in our house, so we had to get different rooms for them.
Yep.
Then it was like, well, now we have an apartment building. Now they get their own apartment, not just a room. And then it's like now you can have your own building, right? So multi-domain, so different domains of our VoIP, and then it's like multi-instance. So there are everything runs on the one app, right? But it's different versions running on the one interface, which is multi-instance.
Okay.
And then you've got multi-tenancy, which is there are multiple tenants in each instance using their own version. Does that make sense?
No, it makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, and so like, because larger clients get their own instance on Dialer, like
Right.
Andy and Cardone have
They're
their
not
own.
sharing
No, they have their
a
own
building
instance.
with someone else.
Yeah,
right?
because like they require certain data housing. They might want features that like are difficult to roll out to individual.
Right.
So like, some of our like live listening features are like exclusively for 25 plus seats.
Right.
Right. Or there are some very in-depth things that we can do with like AI and lead routing and like some really complex shit that we can do if you have 25 seats and sign a 2-year contract.
If it's worth it to tailor it to.
Yeah, because we can build lots more stuff, but it's like most people just don't need that, and it creates complexities when you have.
Well, if you roll this feature from this need to all like it.
Certain feature sets create a lot of complexity.
I agree.
So you need to have it housed, right? And then like when you've got lots of people like with similar-ish data, you can run the risk of like fucking data issues happening. And so we just like we have everyone kind of siloed, needs to be siloed and stuff like that.
Makes sense.
And it's just for compliance reasons and like just simple reasons. But when you're growing it fast, you end up kind of like doing these clones. Before we had that multi-instance, multi-tenancy, we were cloning different versions of the software, and that creates like bugs that you can't tell where they're from.
Right.
So like at one stage we had 7 full-time devs just fixing bugs all day.
Yeah.
Like which is crazy.
No, I mean but that's software.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so we just spent the last 6 months completely redoing our code base, and now it is absolutely fucking rock solid.
Nice.
We still have bugs. Bugs always happen.
Yeah.
But like now we have a good reporting system, and like we have really senior devs now.
Yep.
It's not like vibe code or anything like that.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Well,
but
who's Dialer for? How they reach you?
Dollar.io.
Dialer.io.
You can. I couldn't believe that was available.
Actually, that's actually pretty crazy too.
Yeah, Dialer.
I want to see your domain list.
It's I'll show you later.
Yeah,
it's
pretty
long.
that. Yeah.
It's long. It's like it's a couple hundred.
Most people I beat, but I don't think
I've been doing it for a while.
Yeah. That's fair.
I own some funny ones too. But yeah, like Dollar.io. Yeah, that's pretty much what we do. You can you can book in a call. We're for anyone that has someone who's calling leads full time. Right? Like if you got one guy doing like an hour a day, don't bother.
Yep.
Or if you've got like this sort of, and if you want a system that's like everything to you, like it's going to be your click to dial, your this, your that, and you want to kind of use it how you want to use it, and you get a couple that don't, just go do something else. Like, but if you get leads in, opt-ins, cold calling, it works, but they're just fucking nightmares to deal with.
Yep.
Right? So,
I mean,
like,
the way I see it is like if you have a large enough team and the very front end has a very big lift potential, right? Then it's worth the conversation.
Yeah, and then if you have buyer leads especially, we can do very unique dialing types, and the cool thing is like we know the compliance around the different types of leads that you have, and so when we set it up with you, we can like give you access to types of dialing that would be illegal for most people but are legal for you.
Right.
And so like we can tailor an extremely efficient and customized like thing. So it's like if you're down these leads, we're doing this. If you're down these leads, we're doing this. And the rep doesn't really have to do anything. And so you just get maximum output with minimum effort in terms of like the managerial side of things.
100%.
Yeah.
All right, bro.
So yeah, that's what.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Well, appreciate it, man.
Awesome, brother.
Good talk.
Yeah, that's good.